What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. I hope you guys are doing well. Now, Black Ops Cold War released their first set of DLC, Season 1, and it was supposed to be the biggest thing we've seen, and it's been nothing but a disastrous disappointment. What a joke. This is Treyarch we're talking about. This is the team that released DLC maps like Grind and Stadium that actually put out good games, and this is what we're left with here in 2020. It has been a disaster. It has been a disappointment. This is not the Treyarch that made Black Ops 1 through 3. This is not the Treyarch that actually pleased the majority of the community with their games. Season 1 has been a huge disappointment. Now, I'm not a big Warzone player, but a lot of people are upset with Warzone because they added not a new map, a small map that was basically a rehash of Alcatraz from Blackout, which is basically a rehash of Mob of the Dead, which is basically a rehash of zombies. And people are like, what the hell, guys? Let's create some unique content, which Treyarch is very good at. They're very good at creating unique content, but they've been relying on their past content so much in their last two titles that I don't know if they can create good, unique content anymore. I don't know if they're capable of doing it. You know, I play a map like Raid, and it's like, holy shit, this is a great map. And then I play a map like Cartel, and I'm like, what is this? Or I go back to Black Ops 4 and play those maps, the 6 maps that we got at launch. And I'm like, these are nothing like Jungle, or Firing Range, or Summit. How is there such a divide? How is there such a difference? How is the creative team that's made incredible zombies maps, like the stock map in Black Ops 3, becoming so unimaginative with what they're doing across the board? Now, zombies is decent in this game, don't get me wrong, and I think the campaign is decent, but as it comes to the multiplayer, and especially what we were released on Season 1, it's just so underwhelming, and it doesn't feel unique. It feels like the same thing over and over again. It feels like they're unable to actually give us a unique experience anymore, and it sucks. It sucks for us, the player. And that's the biggest gripe I have here, is at the end of the day, the person that is being affected most by the lack of content or the continued amount of recycled content is us, the consumer, us, the player. The problem is there's too many players that are on that low end of the totem pole that love spending their parents' money. They get that credit card and they're like, oh yeah, anytime I can buy in-game purchases, I'm going to use this credit card. And continue to line the pockets of Activision Treyarch, giving them more onus to do stuff like this, to release unfinished work, to just give us terrible content after terrible content. And the players who soak more hours into the game than these guys, or who have been playing for 13 years, we're the ones that are sitting here saying, Call of Duty just isn't for us anymore. But the problem is there's nothing else on the market like Call of Duty, because Battlefield hasn't released anything. Titanfall hasn't released anything. You know, if you want to get away from the Battle Royale, you have to go play Siege. And I don't know if a lot of the community wants to go play Siege. Or you have to play CSGO, but then you need a good computer to play CSGO. Or Valorant. Again, you need a good computer to play those games. So on console, when it comes to a massive first-person shooter game, if you don't want to play a Battle Royale game, you're basically hooped with nothing. Because there's just nothing out there for us right now. And Activision's reaping the rewards of that. And it's really frustrating from a player standpoint because we're being left out in the cold here. And it allows Activision to set a really low bar for themselves, and they're hitting it. Now, granted, they're making changes and they're going to be patching the game, but right now, like at launch for the new DLC, it made the game unplayable for some people, and that's an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke. This game is still in beta, and we're a month and a half into it. I'm going to make a video later this week and talking about how I believe that Black Ops Cold War should not have been released this year, and Season 1 proves that. I really thought Season 1 was going to be kind of like, hey, here's a bunch of content, this is the completed game, this is what you should have had on launch, but unfortunately because of COVID and for other things, you couldn't have it. And I think I could have forgiven them that. But it's very clear that this isn't the case. They're still missing the boat big time here. This is still a huge lack of content for any release game. And it's getting closer to having a lot of content or having a sufficient amount, but it's not there yet. And it's just mind-blowing that 2v2 Gunfight wasn't in the base game. It's mind-blowing that integration of Warzone, their big release, wasn't in the game at launch. Like, these little things would have just gone so far with the community. And unfortunately, they just didn't. They were left out in the cold because, who knows, Activision needed to launch it on a certain date, and it's an absolute joke. We were sold a beta, and now we're sitting through them trying to figure everything out still. And it's just disappointing seeing such a tremendous life cycle of games. You know, the Black Ops series is so good. To see it being reduced to this is just such a travesty. And it's just disappointing. But, you know, with news that Modern Warfare was the highest selling Call of Duty game, I think it made the most money for Activision ever, they're going to have no incentive to make this game better. They're going to have no incentive to launch these DLCs smoother, because I guarantee you that Black Ops Cold War is going to follow suit as the highest selling game. It's going to follow suit as making the most revenue, because the paste eaters, the kids that this game isn't marketed for, because last time I checked it's M for mature, so you need to be 17 plus to buy it yourself. Obviously your parents are buying it for you, but it's the 9 to 15-year-old kids that are essentially making the decisions for Activision. That's their target market, is 9 to 15, instead of what it used to be, which was like 16 to 24-year-olds. And granted, I'm out of that target market, but I'm telling you, this game is marketed for kids now. And that's what they want. They want the game to be kid-friendly, as kid-friendly as possible. And it's super evident by what they're releasing in the Battle Pass. That's all stuff that kids would like. It's not stuff that you or I, 30-year-olds would be flocking to spend $10 on. It's like, ooh, stickers. None of us care. At the end of the day, guys, I'm just extremely disappointed with the content that was released in Season 1, and I just want to hold Activision and Treyarch to a higher bar and a higher standard before they get more of my money. And that's just where I'm at right now. So I want to know what you guys think down below. What are your thoughts of Season 1 so far? Leave me a comment. Let me know. As always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.